In the endless sands of the Egyptian desert where the wind hums ancient songs and the horizon burns with the glow of eternity, a story sleeps beneath the dunes, a story of kings, gods, and secrets never meant to be revealed. For thousands of years, this land has guarded its mysteries, holding them close, whispered only by the shifting sands. But some secrets refuse to stay buried forever. Long before our modern world rose from stone and dust, there reigned a pharaoh whose name was a ghost on the lips of his people, a name whispered, but never spoken aloud: Neferkare, the Hidden One. Legends paint him not merely as a ruler of men, but as a guardian of forbidden knowledge, a sovereign who dared to bridge the chasm between life and death itself. He was a king obsessed with the veil that separates our world from the next, and he would stop at nothing to peer behind it. To secure his eternal journey and protect his unholy wisdom, Neferkare commanded the construction of a tomb unlike any other. It was not built among the revered monuments of his peers in the Valley of the Kings, but hidden deep beneath it, a secret burrowed into the very heart of the earth. This was no mere burial chamber, it was a fortress for the soul. Labyrinths designed to confound the mind, deadly traps engineered to protect its sanctum, and powerful curses inscribed in glittering gold warned all who might dare to enter. The ancient priests, who oversaw its creation with trembling hands, believed this place was never meant for mortals. It was a gateway, a conduit for the gods themselves to traverse the realms of existence. Then, one moonless night, under a sky of indifferent stars, Neferkare vanished. It was as if he had been plucked from history itself. His name was systematically erased from every record, chiseled away from temple walls and papyrus scrolls. His grand monuments were torn down, their stones scattered to the winds. And his final resting place, the magnificent tomb that held the sum of his forbidden knowledge, was lost to time, swallowed by the desert as if it had never been. Centuries bled into millennia. Dynasties rose in splendor and fell to ruin. Empires stretched their mighty arms across the known world, only to crumble back into dust. The names of great kings like Tutankhamun and Ramesses became legends. Yet, through it all, the desert never forgot Neferkare. The whispers of his hidden tomb drifted on the hot winds, carried from one generation to the next, a tantalizing promise of untold riches and a chilling warning of unspeakable doom. It became a ghost story told around campfires, a myth for treasure hunters and scholars to dream of. Fast forward to the dawn of the 20th century, an age of discovery and ambition. A small, underfunded expedition, led by the tenacious British archaeologist Dr. William Carter, was combing the sun-scorched earth near Luxor. They were searching for remnants of forgotten nobles, minor tombs overlooked by history. But they found something far more significant. Almost by accident, they uncovered a sealed shaft cut deep into the bedrock, its entrance perfectly concealed, and touched for millennia. The air that seeped from its opening was stale, carrying the scent of ages. The hieroglyphs flanking the entrance were archaic, and they spoke of a name that shouldn't exist: the Hidden King. A palpable excitement mixed with a sense of profound dread filled the air. This was it, the discovery of a lifetime. The deeper Carter and his team descended into the earth, the colder and stiller the air became. Their torches, which had burned so brightly under the Egyptian sun, now flickered as if struggling against an unseen presence. The walls of the passage were a testament to ancient faith covered in symbols of the afterlife, the watchful eye of Horus, the sacred scarab beetle promising rebirth, and the radiant sun disk of Ra acting as eternal guardians of this sacred space. Each step felt heavier than the last, as if they were walking not just through a tomb, but through time itself. At the end of the long, sloping corridor, their path was blocked. A massive, seamless door of black basalt stood before them, a final, silent sentinel. There were no handles, no visible hinges, just an imposing slab of stone sealed with the weight of 30 centuries. Behind it, there was only silence, a silence so profound it was almost a sound in itself. Ignoring the nervous glances of his crew, Carter, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and exhilaration, gave the order to open it. With immense effort, using levers and brute force, the team managed to crack the seal. The sound of stone grinding against stone echoed like a scream from the past. As the first fissure appeared, a gust of air rushed out, impossibly dry and ancient, carrying the faint, cloying scent of long-dead lotus flowers and something else, something indescribable. The men recoiled, coughing, their eyes watering. Once the opening was large enough, Carter, holding his torch high, peered inside. The sight that met his eyes was beyond imagination. It was a chamber filled not with dust and decay, but with dazzling splendor. Piles of gold glittered in the torchlight, intricate statues of forgotten gods stared back with eyes of polished lapis lazuli, and stacks of delicate papyrus scrolls promised knowledge lost to the world. But in the center of it all, commanding the room, was a single, monolithic sarcophagus. It was carved from a block of polished black obsidian, its surface inlaid with shimmering emeralds that seemed to drink the light. Drawn by an irresistible force, Carter moved closer. Etched upon the lid was a single, ominous inscription, a curse clear and direct. It read, "He who disturbs the sleep of Neferkare shall awaken the desert's wrath." For a moment, a cold dread washed over him. The whispers of the old legends, the warnings of the priests, the very silence of this place, it all screamed at him to turn back. But the lure of discovery, the promise of fame and fortune, was too strong. They ignored the warning. The tomb was methodically catalogued. Each priceless artifact was carefully packed and prepared for shipment to museums in London and Cairo. The world celebrated Carter's find. He was hailed as a hero who had unveiled a new chapter in Egyptian history. But the curse, once spoken, had been set in motion. Within weeks, strange and unsettling events began to unfold. Members of the expedition, one by one, fell victim to mysterious, rapid-onset illnesses that baffled modern doctors. Vital equipment failed without explanation. Shadows seemed to move in the periphery of their vision, and the local workers, their faces pale with fear, spoke of hearing whispers in the empty tomb at night. Then, the final, inexplicable event occurred. Dr. William Carter himself vanished. One night, he simply disappeared from his tent, leaving behind no sign of a struggle, no footprints in the sand outside. All that remained was his personal journal, left open on his desk. The last entry was written in a frantic, trembling script, ink blotted as if his hand could barely hold the pen. The final words were a chilling testament to his fate. The Pharaoh still guards his secret. The desert watches. To this day, the truth of what happened in that tomb remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Fearing the curse, the authorities quickly ordered the tomb to be resealed, its location stricken from official maps and buried once again by the indifferent, shifting sands. It is now off-limits, a forbidden zone guarded by the Egyptian government and the enduring power of legend. And so, as the sun sets behind the Great Pyramids and the long shadows stretch across the ancient land, the story of Neferkare, the Hidden One, lives on. It serves as a timeless, haunting reminder that the land of the pharaohs keeps its secrets well. Because some doors were never meant to be opened. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you're fascinated by the mysteries of the ancient world, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an expedition into the past. Until next time, keep questioning.